Hey, what's up? My name is Chris, and I wanted to share with you how I lost 200 pounds. I've been asked this question a lot, so I thought I'd make this video, and possibly a couple of others, to kind of go over what I did and how I did it, and how I lost the weight. So I used to be a size 55 waist, and I wore a 4XL t-shirt. And I don't know exactly how much I weighed because the scale I had only went up to 400 pounds. But I'm sure it was over that. It was probably around 420 or 430, something like that. So there are a number of things that I did, and people have asked me this all the time. They say, what did you eat? You know, what did you do and how did you do it? There's a lot of ways you can go about it. I'm not saying what I did is the best or the fastest or the healthiest, or I'm not saying it's better than anything else. Only that it worked pretty well for me, and hopefully it'll work pretty well for somebody else too. So I used a few things, basic things, and a lot of what I did is pretty, you want to say common sense maybe, but to me at the time it felt like I was doing trial and error. And so two of the things I used nonstop, and I'm a firm believer in, is weighing yourself and keeping track of your weight. There's no way to know if what you're doing is working unless you're really weighing yourself. Scales can sort of lie in the short term, but over the long term they do not lie. If you're losing weight, the scale will go down. So that was the first thing. I got myself a regular old kitchen scale, and I weighed myself, and I still weigh myself every day when I get up in the morning. The next thing I did was I would take that weight and write it down in a notebook. So it gave me a data point every day, week after week, month after month, of what I weighed and the trajectory that I was going. The common knowledge, and everybody had always told me to weigh yourself once a week or something like that. For me, that didn't work because at the weight I was at when I was first able to use the scale, it just, the fluctuations were too much. I would weigh 395, let's say, on one Sunday, and if I weighed myself again a week later, it was 390. And then the following week it could be 394. Even though my weight loss had steadily continued during that time, the scale didn't reflect that in the short term. And I wanted quicker data points that I could refer to, and I didn't want to wait for months or to know if I was eating too many calories. Which brings me to my next thing. So when I would write my weight down in that book, every morning, I would also begin logging all of my calories for the day. And one of the important things about losing weight is that unless you're keeping track of those calories, you really have no idea whether or not what you're doing is really going to work long term. So you really have to know that, okay, at 395 pounds, I need 2,800 calories per day to lose a pound a week. Without that, you're kind of just wandering in the dark. So that was the next thing. I began, writing down, keeping track of all of my calories for the day, so that over time I could look at that information on that tablet and say, okay, well, this week it looks like I lost probably about a pound, and I was eating 2,700 calories a day that week. So I'll keep eating 2,700 calories until I don't lose weight anymore, and then I'll drop it down to 2,500 calories or 2,600 calories, and then continue on and keep evaluating. That was the other thing. I kept evaluating that data constantly. I really wanted to lose weight, and I was not interested in wandering around and spending 6 months crash dieting and, losing 5 pounds in a month, and then the next month you're, eating Cheetos again. I wasn't interested in that. I really wanted to lose weight, and I wanted to do it methodically. So another question that people ask me a lot is, what did you eat? And I say I ate essentially it was a low-carb diet. I ate lean meat and vegetables. Another thing that people ask is, did I exercise? I did not exercise for the first probably 50 or 75 pounds. I didn't do any cardio until I was down under 300. And I started lifting weights when I was approximately 390 pounds, give or take. I began with a routine called starting strength, which is pretty widely recommended on the internet for people to start with. It emphasizes compound movements like bench press, row, squats, deadlifts, which I totally agree with, and even to this day, my routine is pretty similar to that. And I really recommend everybody who's losing weight to lift weights. And when I say losing weight, everybody knows we're talking about fat loss. But really, I would recommend everybody lift weights. The benefits, you know, are numerous, from better well-being to you know, looking better. It's just, it goes on and on and on, not to mention moving around and things like that, especially when you're big. For guys especially, there isn't a lot of reasons not to lift weights. Women will frequently say that they don't want to get big and muscular, but I can tell you that'll never happen unless your genetics are 1 out of a million or you're on testosterone. A female will never look like one of those female bodybuilders you see on TV. They're on testosterone. They're not natural. You don't get that big as a female naturally, unless your genetics are 1 out of a million. And if they are, you probably already know it. So every 2 months, I also took a pause for a week. I would purposely stall my weight loss. So if I knew that I was losing weight on 2,700 calories a day, I would bump that number up to 2,900 or even 3,000 as an example, to purposely stall the weight loss. So when you lose weight or subject your body to a lot of stress, there's a lot of reactions that go on. And your body does not want to lose weight. It will fight you every step of the way, every way it possibly can, because it's biologically programmed to make you eat. So stalling that helped me a lot with those feelings of, you know, when you feel like you're dieting and you're really grinding and it's going on and on and on, and it doesn't seem like there's any end in sight, you know. Taking that break did help from a mental standpoint, and I usually felt pretty refreshed afterwards. The other thing I would do is a cheat meal once a week. So in short, for this video, I just wanted to cover a lot of the things I did, you know, very quickly. Weighed myself every day, and I still do. Counted my calories, wrote them down in a notebook, and wrote my weight down daily. So that's it. I hope it helped. If it did, let me know. If you have any more questions, let me know. I'm going to make a couple more videos on things that I ate, and more specifics on my workouts that I've done during the weight loss and even now to this day. If you liked it, share it, subscribe it. Maybe it'll help somebody. Thank you.